Hey everybody, it's John, small time bookseller here because I sold a book. And when I do that, I'll come on here, I'll make a video about it, and you can watch it if you like. I don't do any garage sale videos. I don't do any yard sale videos. I don't do any GoPros at the good old bins and looking at my hands. Scrubby, dry, poor, the trees crowded with lemurs. No. Just me telling you what I sold. And it has been a while since I put up a video, and because of that, you can thank me now or thank me later. I won't tell you everything I sold. In that time frame since my last video, I have sold 47 books for $1,189.70, which is a $25.31 average, which is pretty good. I like it when it's around $25. That's great. And I also sold a bunch of other stuff because my usual source for books has kind of not been putting out so many books lately. So it's maybe a little look around at some other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I kind of gotten my more interesting books. I'm just going to pull out maybe 5 or 10 of them, let you know. Because I looked at all the highest value books I had, and it's all the normal stuff. It's textbooks. A lot of nursing preparation books. There's a college calculus book that sold for $50. There was several nursing books that sold in the $35 to $40 range. And I had tons of $12 to $15. So it's a normal stuff. It's textbooks. It's religion. It is nonfiction. But there were some unusual ones, so I thought that I would pull those up, and that way you could see some different things to look for. All right, so let's begin here. This may not be so different, but it's kind of cool. And so I got it and I sold it, but I want to take a look at this. This was the Star Trek Technical Manual from, and it by itself, it doesn't normally sell all that well. I mean, I may sell well, but it doesn't sell for all that much. But mine had, 5 like promotional photos inside, 8x10s. And they had typed up descriptions on the back. One of them was wrong, but still I thought this was interesting. I knew nothing about them. I tried to find, I Googled, everything I could think of to try to find examples of these exact photos. I couldn't. So does that mean they're rare or they're useless? I don't know. But I thought I'd put them up for sale. They may be worth millions. And if they are and somebody else has that knowledge that I don't, kudos to them, and they got a good deal possibly, or else maybe it's a fair value. But I sold it for $85. And actually I went to an auction house, so that was interesting. I looked up the address, and it was an auction house in Wisconsin. So I kind of wanted to go on to that auction and see if they put it up for auction, or maybe that was just something in somebody's own collection that just happened to be where they work. I don't know. But I thought that was an interesting one. So you always want to, flip through a book and see what's inside, because this one I wouldn't have picked up if it didn't have those pictures inside. So that's one to look out for. The next one I'd like to point out is this little dude. This is a small little book I got at the Goodwill bin. So I paid 33 cents for this. The Star Trek one also is 33 cents. And this was a prayer book for Jews in the United States Army from 1945. Tiny little thing. 4 inches tall, ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. And but that seemed interesting to me. It was in Hebrew, so opened up from what to us would be the back side, and opened opposite the way a book written in English would open. So I thought it was unique, and so I sold that for $25. So it was an easy one. It sold quickly. Quite a few for sale. None of them from 1945, and so I was hoping that, I don't know if that makes mine any more rare or not. Not sure, but it sold. So I was pretty happy with that one. Another subject area that you always want to look at is, what would you call, like trademarks or type font, design when it comes to book design, word design, and this one sold for $35, Trademarks and Symbols Volume 2. There are sold comps of Volume 1 and 2 for in the hundreds of dollars, $300, $400. For some reason, just Volume 2 on its own, or even some Volume 1 on its own, didn't have that much value. I had this up at 50. Somebody offered me 30. I came back. Actually, somebody offered me 20. I came back at 30. And how did that work? I can't remember. But anyway, I sold it for 35. There's two people like were competing. So somebody put in 30 and somebody else put 32.50, and then somebody came back at 35. And so ended up at 35, went to Germany. I was happy with that as a quick flip. And I probably could have held out for a lot more. But I didn't. So I got it down to just $35. And the next one I wanted to talk about is this little set of books. So this is, take a look there. And this is, what is this from? This is from the ABC show Dark Shadows. And it's a little paperback. And there were a ton of these at the Goodwill bins. They're just laying all over the place in different bins. Some people had some in their carts already. I found as many as I could. 1969, some were 68, 69, 70, that era. So 33 cents each, but there's a bunch of these. This is this Barnabas Collins from Dark Shadow, which ABC TV show back in the 60s. And I sold a lot of 5 of these for $18. But then a bunch of them, as I was looking through, I noticed that they were all saying they were first printings. So there were 15 that said first printings. I put those up as a separate lot, 15 first printings, and I sold them for $115. So vintage paperbacks, I do pretty well with those. I sell quite a few. Actually, they're worth looking up. A lot of them aren't, but occasionally you run into something like this where for whatever reason there's a following, and you can get a bunch of these dudes. So I just sold today. That's why I still have it. I haven't shipped it off yet. So yeah, that was an interesting one. Here's another thing. So education often sells if it's something new, but this one was the ABLLSR. I had the 2 different books on those. And they sold for $50 a piece. So $100 for the 2 books. They went to different buyers. I listed them separately. And so that was another thing to look out for, this ABLLS. I have no idea what it is. I just know that now I know it's worth some money. So I think that's all I was going to... Oh, and the last one I wanted to share with you. It's not a big surprise, but it's something to talk about, is Stephen King had an early version of Salem's Lot. And so if you research it enough, you know what you have. Look for the publisher. Look if it's whether it's a book club edition or not. This version that I had listed here went for $35, and it wasn't in wonderful condition, but it was pretty good. It was an early edition of Stephen King's Salem's Lot, so be on the lookout for those early edition hardbacks. They can sell for quite a bit of money. If this had been, I forget what it is now, but if it had been the right publisher in the right year, it could have been a whole lot more. So that was it for the books. I also picked up a lot of Nota books, and when I do that at the bin drop, where the Amazon return store where I often get my books, if there aren't a lot of books that week, I'll look around at other stuff. They're $8 a piece, so that's paying up quite a bit for an item that I'm trying to flip. So I want to make sure it's something that has a good sell-through rate. There's several that I want to see recent solds before I pay $8 for something. So here's what I picked up this week that were not books, or in the last few weeks. This is a Warhammer 40K. I don't even know what this is. It literally sold within hours. I sold it for $57. I did take an offer on that. I think I put it up for $65. Somebody offered me $57 within a couple hours. I literally listed this while I was still in the store. I just took a quick picture, put it up, and before I'd bought it and was actually home, but within a couple hours, it sold. Also found some very expensive clothing. It's worth looking at clothing. Here's a pair of shorts that sold for $75. Agolde. Never heard of it, but I looked it up and saw that there were solds that they were selling for that range. So I put it up and it sold too very quickly within the week. And then there's this shirt, Nilly Lotan. So this shirt, I put it up here even though it has been returned. it was my mistake on the return. So there's a short sleeve and long sleeve version. The only ones that were listed on eBay were short sleeves, so that's what I put. I thought that mine was too. It was still in the packaging. I didn't want to take it out of the packaging, and I just should have looked into it more. But the short sleeve version sold for $125. Then it got returned, so I've now relisted it for $155. But I didn't want to go and throw it in there as a sale because it was just my mistake that it got returned. But there weren't any of the long sleeves up on eBay. And the MSRP was the same as the short sleeve, so I figured, hey, maybe I'll have it up for $155. I've already got a lot of views, a lot of watchers, so I'm pretty confident that will sell soon. And let me see if there's anything else I really wanted to share with you. This Ken Burns Country Music DVD set sold for $30, $29.99. Again, I paid $8 for it, so I had to look, make sure that there was a lot of solds. This had a lot of solds. I actually got 2 copies of this, and they both sold within a couple days for $29.99. So $8, but I still sold it pretty quickly. So pretty happy about that. The other stuff I sold some personal things, some camera lenses, and a few other things that I got at the Goodwill bins, but nothing too exciting. So let's kind of keep it right there. Short and sweet for now. Hope everything's going well. Hope you all had a wonderful Easter. And hope I get over my allergies. Thank you very much. And that's going to do it for today. So y'all take care. And I'll see you next time. Adios.